Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is a completely different setup that we are working with today. And as usual, I just felt called to do it and I just felt guided to do it this way. If you're new here and you've clicked on this video, hello, welcome. My name is Sarah and this is TarotGenix. And this video is also a card video and I do a lot of pick a card readings on the channel if you want to check them out, but it's still a fairly new channel, so there isn't that many videos, and also I am still an amateur. I'm still learning. I'm in the process of I'm pretty new to this, but yeah, so what really happened was that I felt guided to record a video, and this video was supposed to be all about wisdom that I have experienced throughout my life, and I was actually being guided to share that. And of course, like all the experiences that every single one of us have are unique and they're divine, and all of us have like a completely different, unique message to share. But whatever this message may be, it's of value to everyone, to the whole collective. While knowing this to be the truth, I am still a little bit shy. I am still in the process of getting in touch with my confidence. So I didn't know how to go about it. So what I did was I decided to incorporate cards into it. So we'll be using this deck here today, and this is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle deck. This is, hold on a second. This is the back of it. And I really felt called to use this deck. I'm not sure why, but I usually never question that. I wonder though, but there's no point in questioning. So I'm gonna give this another shuffle. And of course, this is, if you clicked on this video, I know that I'm saying it in 2 minutes in, because I feel that I'm going to title it with the eclipse energies, which is true though. Like we are all in this eclipse energy. And I feel that the energies that I'm picking up are also influenced by the solar eclipse that we all experienced the past few days. It's different times, it's at different times for different time zones. But it's, it's come to pass, and the energies are still here, and we have really been affected by it. Whatever I pick up in these cards today will address that. And if you have clicked on this reading, another thing I want to tell you is that there is something relevant here for you. So if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. Click off if you want to. No pressure there. I completely understand. This may not be everybody's cup of tea, although it's something that I really need to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And the first card we have is Way of Faith. Let faith be your guide. And then we have this card showing up here. With this card, Let faith be your guide, I'm looking at this imagery and I see that there is so many difficulties. Like I see obstacles showing up, I see difficulties showing up, I see just stagnancy showing up. I just see like all of these things that are also like these spheres that are also kind of looking like eyeballs to me. So a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure in maintaining certain things. And usually another thing that's really coming through here for me is that it's only like something about your self-image is very important to you right now. The way that you appear to people, the way that you maybe yeah, something about your self-image really feels like it's in question, or you're having a very hard time with navigating yourself through how you're going to maintain it. But the card itself says, Way of Faith, let faith be your guide. What's really coming through here is that you already know the answer deep down, but there is something a little bit more than faith. Like I feel with the word faith here, I feel that it's really speaking about the term leap of faith. So you already know what it is that you need to do. You already know what it is that you need to go for. I feel that what's really coming through with this card is that there is like a lot of hesitation here. And it's just the hesitation that's creating the obstacles. And because of the hesitations that create the obstacles, it's it really challenges our faith. But what's coming through with this card is that your faith is your guide. Your way through it is faith, because your faith is acting as a guide to take you from point A to point B through all the obstacles, through all the insecurities, through everything that's coming up in between. So what's really coming to me with this card is that the way I started the channel, I know that yeah, sure, like it's my channel, I started it, I named it, I created it, but I personally, the truth of this channel is that I always feel like I'm in the back seat of this, and I let the divine guide it, and I listen to the divine, and I follow the divine, and I listen to whatever it tells me to do, and I do it. A lot of the times I even question that why this or why that, especially the last pick a card reading that I did with the numbers, and I'm like, why again, or why like this, or why like that. In my experience, it's never been in detrimental to me. Like, it was always a growing experience, and it's always built up to something good. And yeah, a lot of the times I do have these moments of, why am I being guided to do this? But the reward that I receive in following those guidance is so invaluable that I would rather mess up and learn these experiences, because they accumulate to something even bigger, to something even greater. Yeah, that's the truth of the channel. And that's why I'm doing this here today instead of a pick a card reading, which I will do. But what I realized about myself is, like, I'm a multifaceted person. I am not the kind of, it's not true to me, it's not authentic to me, it's not true to who I am for me to just, you know, set up my tripod and do a very typical normal pick a card reading, although I love doing those. But that's not just all me. I know that I'm going to get pretty bogged down and pretty upset, pretty depressed, honestly, if I didn't allow myself to flow and be who I am. And the thing about faith is that faith is a divine extension, and faith knows you more than yourself. So when you are trying to expand, when you're growing, and when you're beginning to learn yourself about yourself, I had to take all of these leaps of faith to get me from here to there. Okay, so this is all I'm getting here. It's really important to listen to your faith. And the question that's really coming to me, that I'm feeling called to ask, is that, has faith ever left you high and dry? Because the thing about faith and trust is that even though the divine wants us to have faith and trust in him, it's never without proof. So if you don't have proof, there's no point. And, you know, the divine understands that, which is why if you want to, like, work on it if you want to go about it in a more experimental way, feel free to do so, because faith is never meant to be blind, to be honest. Like I didn't step into having this much faith in the universe or in God blindly. Like, I was given really solid proof to be like, okay, I surrender. Yeah, that's how I got into it. So that is what's something that is being called, that I feel that I should share. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next card, and we have simple pleasures. Look for beauty that is all around you. And I really feel like this is really telling us to kind of look at all these orange though. Look at all these colors in this card. It's so gorgeous. Like, I'm pretty mesmerized by the artwork of the card itself. Such a beautiful card. But you know, this is really speaking to me about fabric, like really, really beautiful embroidered. I don't know, like, you know, those fabrics that are like so, that look like this. It's just so gorgeous, and that's what's really coming through to me. And I feel that this is really speaking to me about more of a in a material sense of the word, in a more physical sense of the word, where the world is so beautiful, the world is created so beautiful, and it's here to support you, it's here to guide you and give you all these pleasures. And all of the things that give you pleasure, you know, the beauty, it's actually here to support you. I wonder with this card if some of you are rejecting the feeling of this. I wonder for some of you if you are rejecting your pleasures by being too, you know, by thinking too much about all these obstacles, that you are forgetting to enjoy life and enjoy all of these pleasures that the world has to offer, and just relaxing into activities that you would rather do, that would give you peace, that would nurture you, that would calm you down, that would relax you. And I wonder if with this card here, I wonder if some of you are putting off on these pleasures just to like get work done. And I feel, and I know that in today's society, they really ask us to give all our blood, sweat, and tears to you know, to make things happen. But it's not really necessary to give, you know, to go that extreme. We can still do the same amount of work with experiencing the pleasures of life and having that internal balance, which is so important. And I feel that the internal balance, like what's really, I know it's a little off track, but I am still picking up on something to do with boundaries, because it's like boundaries within yourself and also boundaries with others. And I feel that boundaries are created with internal balance. In my personal experience, whenever a boundary of mine is, you know, being pushed on, it's usually when it's trying to create some kind of a disruption in my internal balance. And I feel that this internal balance is so essential to us, to our well-being, and to the way, you know, in how we function and how we manage ourselves, that we shouldn't let anything get in the way of that balance, because that internal balance is, you can see that as all of the mechanical things in a clockwork that is needed to get the clock hands going, if that makes sense. Like, you know, those I don't know what it's called, like it's the things that churn inside. That's the imagery that I'm getting. It's like, you know, the things that churn inside, like if it's not churning the way that it's supposed to churn, like the clock is just not gonna work. And I feel that you're being called to just come into, bring yourself in balance by receiving your pleasures and allowing yourself to surrender to all these pleasures. That's really coming through here. And beauty is all around you, because I feel that, you know, it's not that the pleasure is going anywhere, it's not that the beauty is going anywhere, it's always there. And I feel that yeah, with beauty is all around you, it's like, you know how we get like so caught up in our day-to-day life that we don't just look up to see how beautiful the sky is, or, you know, things like that. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up here. You know, it's everywhere. Okay, love that so far. I'm gonna move on to the next card. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not sure if you can tell. The next card that we have is Live in the Moment, what you are looking for is within you. So this is more confirmation for the energy that I'm picking up about you to just go within and look for that pleasure within. I know that we are really wired to feel that our pleasure and the good feelings that we get, and all of these things come from external things. But in reality, and then the truth of the situation is actually really different. We are the ones who choose to feel what we want to feel. Examples would be like, let's just say that I'm having a cup of tea and I'm the one who can, and the tea is kind of warm, or it's really cold, or it's really hot, whatever it might be. It's really my energy that defines what kind of an experience I'm gonna have with it. I can complain that it's too hot. I can complain that it's too cold. I can complain that it's not so hot and not so cold and I want it to be colder / hotter. It's my energy. Or I could simply take that cup of tea. If I want it to be hotter, I could just, put it in the microwave for a couple seconds. Or if that's not, if you want to have a fresh cup of tea, you could just like throw that cup out and make a new one. There's so many things that you can do, but it's actually us that create the experiences of a reality, even though we feel powerless to what's happening around us. It's actually within us that we experience our own life, and everything that we see all around us is a perception. It's like perception is not the right word. It's more like it's the way that we experience the world has everything to do with how we are experiencing ourselves. And then that's why we have live in the moment. And this imagery is also really calling to me. Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's like two people, and one of them is I'm not sure if they're kissing, but I do feel that they're connecting here in this space. Could be that they're kissing, but you see that light over here? What's really coming through to me is that that's how you touch the divine, like in being in the moment, because you're not abandoned by the divine in any point in time. And when you slow down and you enjoy the moment, and when you live moment to moment, it feels really, really, it makes us feel really alive, and it makes us feel alive because there is more source to relate to in that, in that space-time. And I feel that that's what's really coming through here, because there's so much love that's coming your way, that there's just so much pleasure that wants to touch you. There's so much love that wants to touch you, but it can't if you don't, if you can't stay still. It's like, let's just say that someone's wanting to love you, someone wants to hug you. If you can't stay still, they can't, get you to a position where they can be like, okay, now I can give you a hug, the hug that I was dying to give you for all this time. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. And that's what's really coming through. And we can't really experience life properly if we're not really receiving the entire moment, right? Really receiving life. Like, how can we connect to life, or how can we relate to life when we're not connecting to it, or when we're not really receiving it, or when we're not really receiving the pleasures of it, or what it's offering to us? I know that for a lot of you, a lot of the experiences that I'm already energetically picking up is that, but what happens when you're going through something negative? What happens when you're going through something that feels really, really bad? I mean, what are you going to do? Like, you're in the moment, but it feels bad in the moment. It was the first card that showed up, and it says, way of the faith, let faith be your guide. The obstacles are actually things that you create within yourself. And I know that a lot of it's like it's a let me see if the next card helps me talk about it more, because the concept of having so much power in your hands is almost absurd. And it's not something that is, you know, widely recognized in the world yet. The next card is limitation as power. Lean into your limitations. Yeah, so the divine really wants me to talk about this. So with limitation as power, what's really coming through here is that the negative experiences are not really where the love is. The love is where is what's blossoming out of it. And in limitation, you actually have the most power, because in limitation, and when you're like in cornered, and when there's a lot of things happening, you have a lot of things to work with as a result. So the way I see it, let me think of an example here. Actually, I'm being called to take a look at the guidebook for this. Live in the moment. Limitation is power. It's the card right before live in the moment. But look at all these colors that's coming through here. Ooh, okay, so there is something very specific that's coming out to me. I'm not going to read the whole guidebook and bore you. But also, okay. It says, remember, dear one, to be ready to adapt. Be flexible, prepared to bend, and make shifts as it becomes necessary. When unexpected things happen, do not see them as obstacles to your creativity, even though we're reading about this card here. Respond with imagination and a new way of looking at them that becomes part of the creation itself. So what's really coming through with this card is that your limitations that you're perceiving as limitations, they're actually pieces that you have the power to create more out of, or to break free. And it's actually a bid for you to claim your creativity even more. It's actually a bid for you to be more of who you are. And I feel that what the divine is really telling me with this card is that the more you embrace who you are, the more you embrace your creativity, it becomes, you know, obstacles seem to just kind of disappear, and you won't even know how powerful you are if you haven't got over obstacles. And it's really bringing back to what I picked up on what I was saying about faith being, you know, having about proof, that the divine really doesn't want you to have faith without proof. But the way that you have proof is by choosing to move through it, and to see exactly how much power you have when you're being guided by faith, and when you are turning all of these obstacles and finding creative solutions. And here's the thing about creative solutions. Your creativity is so unique to everybody that your creativity is only yours, and what you can do, nobody else can actually make that happen. And the last few sentences in the guidebook says, improvise within the conditions and create with what you are given. The more you become aware of this process, the more you can affect what happens. So yeah, this is really talking about when you are given obstacles, how will you know you're powerful, and how will you know where your strengths and your power lies if you don't choose to go over it, or when you don't choose to, you know, overcome that. And then, which is like, look at this imagery, like look at how powerful she is. This circular imagery is so similar to like these guys here. Like, this is what this is, and all of this is what you are. And this is the truth of, you know, our creation, and we're never meant to be stuck and stagnant. Like, if you really think about it, the universe is never stuck or stagnant. It's always in the process of expansion. It's always in the process of growing. But man, look at all these colors though. Look at all these colors that's coming through. I feel like all of it came in, it might be, it's probably gonna, but it came in this order. I can't even hold the cards up, there's so many. But look at all these colors. I love that. I want to pull more. I'm really enjoying this. And then we have time to play, make time to dance and play. This is more encouragement in how you can hone your power with this card here. What's really coming through with this card that just showed up is that when you're being tested like that, or when you're being when you're going through like things like that, it's really important to, you know, make time to play and dance. And is there any card that, yeah, it's bringing me back to these cards here. Actually, it's bringing me back to a lot of these cards. But right now with this simple pleasure, with time to play, it's really bringing me to this feeling of, you know, that creativity, that message of creativity that I was picking up on with this card here, that your creativity is how you overcome your obstacles with faith plus creativity. And the energy of play is, and dance and joy is exactly what creativity is. So it's a very flexible energy. It's not a fixed or rigid energy. It's very flowy, right? It's really, really flowy, and it's really, really fluid. And I feel that with time to play, the more you engage in activities that make you bring out all these energies inside of you, the more you're going to tap into the creativity and also kind of like dissolve or soften a lot of the obstacles that feel so difficult and hard, is what I'm really seeing here. That the more you play and the more you have fun, I feel that it really does kind of soften the effect of the obstacles. It makes things lighter. It brings lighter energies into the situation, and this lighter energies is so valuable. It's so valuable because it brings you back into this state. There's a lot of energies in the cards, that's why like things like that happens. But like I picked up with a really light, you know, like not enough energy while picking up the cards, like really lightly, and then it jumped around, like things like that. It just means that it's got a lot of energy. But yes, it's really bringing me back here where you can work with your limitations when you are enjoying yourself and having fun. That's what I'm picking up with this card here, but I feel like we're moving towards the end, so this might be the last card unless the divine has more plans, and then we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, the next card that we have is turn over a new page, let love lead the way for change. So with this card, I really feel that if you feel like you need to release a lot, please give yourself the time and space to do so. And also, you're in the process of turning over a new page and transform into a new you. And and the thing about another thing that's really coming through strongly about turning over a new page is that you need to decide to do that. You're the only one who can turn your life, turn that page in your own life. And let love lead the way for change is so similar to let faith guide you. It's like, but with this card, I'm really picking up a lot of self-love, really, that this, like your love for you, like the love that you have for yourself, lead the way for the change that you are looking for in your reality right now. And this change will not come through if you are not really if you're not really processing your feelings, if you're not really giving yourself the time to go within, if you're not giving yourself the time to relax into these feelings, if you're not giving yourself the time to yeah, and if you're not giving yourselves the time to feel good about yourself. And I feel that it's really difficult to feel good about yourself if you haven't released a lot of these energies, because a lot of the good energies can't really come in your way if you haven't taken the time to release it. And it's really bringing me back to the simple pleasure card over here, where beauty's all around you. It's okay to it becomes a little bit like all of these energies really overshadow your perception and the way you look at this, the way you look at reality, in a way that, oh, okay, so there's so much love around me, there's so much pleasure, there's so much beauty around me. But you can, it's a very human thing to happen when you can't really see all of this, when you're in this energy of heaviness. So take the time, give yourself all the love that you need, give yourself all the comfort and self-love that you need, everything that you need, anything that you may need. And please don't compromise in that at all, because in turning over a new page, it's like you're leaving something behind. So allow yourself to leave something behind. So this is like so telling to the eclipse energy that's coming through, because I feel like the energy is so potent right now, and it's just so, like, there's so much transformation that can take place right now, and so much of what you do is supported by the divine right now. And also, if you want to release, you can release a lot right now. So please give yourself the time to do that, is something that's coming through here. Give yourself the time to rest, give yourself the time to relax, cozy up. For a lot of places, the holiday seasons are coming in, and that's, you know, just allow yourself to enjoy and release whatever feels fit to you. Is that all? So I actually decided to cut the reading short over there. I felt that it was pretty solid and complete. I am still going to be pulling some more cards though. If you want to check that out, that's going to be another video in the channel, which I will be posting right after this one. But yes, thank you so much for being with me here today, for sharing your space with me, and I hope to see you in the next one.